Hi guys, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Pieter-Louis.
Welcome back to Legend and Lore, a world tour. Today we're heading to the American South, specifically a quiet corner of Tennessee, where a legend has whispered through generations since the early 1800s. This isn't just a ghost story. It's a tale of a spirit so persistent, so vocal, so violent. It's said to have spoken aloud, slapped people across the face, predicted death, and yes, allegedly killed a man. This is the story of the Bell Witch of Tennessee. So, something that's interesting to me about this story is they refer to it as the Bell Witch. But to me, it feels more like a spirit or a demon, even. I did, however, find an account where it said that the spirit claimed that she was old Kate Batts' witch. So, a person, Kate Batts, she was a witch.
Okay, so
She
Kate
was
Batts was a person.
Yes, that was. And
Was
she's
Kate Batts a famous person? Should I know who Kate
No.
Batts is? Kate
No,
Batts
it
is.
was basically like a neighbor or something. I'll get back. It
Oh,
will
okay.
be somewhere
But
down
it
here.
feels
as
like
well.
you said it in a way of like, is it like
No, it's more like the reason
actress or
why
something?
she claimed. Like I said, I feel it's a demon. The demon claimed it was old Kate Batts, somebody that lived in the town, witch. So she was that person turned into a witch, basically.
Okay. Getting weird again. but
Something
anyway.
like that. But it gives me demon vibes.
Okay.
So let's set the scene. It's the year 1817.
Well, that explains everything.
Just go away. The Bell family, John Bell, his wife Lucy, and their many children are living in a rural area near Adams, Tennessee. They're farmers, churchgoers, and by all accounts respectable people. Life is peaceful. Until one quiet evening, John sees something strange in the fields. A creature. He later says that looked like a dog with a head of a rabbit. Odd, but maybe just a trick of the light. Until the sounds start. Knocking, scratching, thuds coming from the inside of the walls. The children begin complaining of sheets being pulled from their beds, whispers that grow louder, voices that seem to come from nowhere or everywhere. The Bell family had no idea they were about to become the center of what many believed is the most well-documented haunting in American history.
Is there a movie about this?
There's movies. They based the Blair Witch Project loosely on it, so it's not the same witch, but they did it, and there is books and stuff. So yes, there's a lot of.
I think Blair Witch Project I watched.
There's
like
actual plaques up
73
and
million
stuff.
years ago.
I'll get to it later, but there's a cave that's still there that people go to. It's ridiculous.
It's not like the Amityville horror or anything like that. It's not a famous movie, is it?
I'm not sure.
It does feel like every American Southern horror film ever made. Still,
Yeah, but this one is a bit bad. So
no, I know nothing about this.
I
it's like,
didn't know anything.
I think
I knew about the Bellware. What now? I can't pronounce
Blair.
it. Blair Project. The Blair. That one. I just said it and now I can't say it anymore. The Blair Witch Project. There we go.
You're having a stroke.
Yes, something
Okay.
like that.
I've heard about Bell Witch. I think we spoke about it earlier. I think we
Never
might
heard
have.
about
Huh?
I've never heard about it.
I think I did reference it at some in one
Came
of the podcasts.
across it by accident and I was just like, what is this?
Okay, I know I did reference it at some point in the past
I don't think we did. I
25
honestly
episodes,
don't.
whatever.
This is episode 22, so
It might
25
like
is not
the
gonna...
imaginary episodes.
Okay.
But remember, there were like 7 episodes we recorded that we didn't use. Yeah, we fell asleep and stuff. Anyway, let's not tell the people about that.
You're making stuff up over here, but okay.
I'm trying to justify my logic. Anyway, it happens a lot. But okay, let's go back to. But it does feel like you're gonna have a story about a massive wooden farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. Is this where this is going?
No, it's not. There's a town, so no, it's not the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway. So, soon the mysterious entity that had moved into the home would come to be known by a name whispered with fear. The Bell Witch. What started with scratching in the walls turned darker quickly. The family began hearing voices, first unintelligible murmurs, then full sentences. The entity could sing hymns, recite scriptures, and mimic people's voices perfectly. She was particularly harsh on John Bell and his daughter Betsy, pinching, hitting, and according to witnesses, dragging Betsy by her hair. So there was actual witnesses. A lot of this talks about witnesses. The voice claimed to be Kate, a spirit of a neighbor woman who had placed a curse on John Bell. Some versions say Kate Batts, a woman who believed John Bell had cheated her in a land deal, was responsible. Others say the spirit identity changed at will, sometimes saying it was the ghost of an old woman, sometimes of a Native American child whose grave had been disturbed. But here's where it gets strange. Unlike most hauntings, the spirit spoke, a lot in a clear voice and in front of many people. It called out secrets, things only close family members could know. It mocked, laughed, sang, and even quoted scripture better than a local pastor. It seemed to have limitless knowledge and energy. So, one thing about demons specifically is they know how to twist the Bible. So they know scriptures very well and try to catch you. So when you don't know the Bible properly, they can actually try and twist the Bible and confuse you completely. That is why also, that specific part is why I also think this is a demon and not a witch. Because that clearly says demon to me because it's trying to bait you.
Like I said earlier, at some point we should be able to connect all these stories to a single entity or thing. It's like whether it's werewolf or vampire, there's always that one thing that's in common with all of them. And saying it's a
Except the
witch,
fact
it
that
might be a demon.
a witch in my eyes is something living. Yes, they can turn into a cat. Yes, they can turn into something else.
Yeah, but so can a vampire.
But this isn't a witch. It's a ghost. It's a
And
physical
Then
ghost.
again, a vampire. It's all of it is
A
ghosts. All
vampire
of
is
them are
not a
demons.
ghost. No, this thing never turned into a proper. You always knew it was a ghost. Or
But why did
demon
they
or-
call it a witch then?
Like I said, she introduced herself as
As a
this.
witch. Okay.
Yes. So, the Bell Witch wasn't just content with tormenting the Bell family. She loved an audience. Word spread, and soon people were coming from all over to witness the haunting. Even religious leaders came to pray in the home, only to be mocked by the voice. At one point, General Andrew Jackson, yes, the same Jackson who would later become President of the United States, allegedly visited the Bell home out of curiosity.
Which is a weird thing is why is it always in these stories that some sort of president or mayor or queen of England shows up to a haunting or a site like that? It doesn't make much sense.
Yes, it
It
does.
always gives legitimacy to a story,
That-
but it feels to me like the opposite. It
No.
doesn't mean anything.
It does. It means the story is so big, and I don't feel curiosity. I know they say out of curiosity, but it's if it's something that big in your town, because obviously it wasn't. America wasn't that big at that stage. It wasn't.
Yeah.
So obviously, if something that big is happening, you have to go show your support. That is how you get supporters.
Was this even before a time that he wanted to run as president? Wasn't he maybe just like a little boy?
I'm not sure.
How old was? This is something I can actually Google for you if you want to. How
Go
old
for it.
was? But except for that, well, interesting fact. While we're busy wasting time with absolutely nothing, Winston Churchill.
Yes.
You know who Winston Churchill is?
Yes.
He was Prime Minister of Britain during the First or Second World War, I think.
I don't know when, but I remember.
Anyway,
about
he
it.
was a prisoner in South Africa.
That I did not know.
And I do believe it was for murder. And he escaped and went back to England and became Prime Minister.
Who did he kill? But okay, we had.
Yeah.
We obviously had wars. And
Yeah, we had
stuff
wars. It was
in
during
England.
war. But there was...
He was of England, right? Not
yeah,
America.
so,
I should say.
sorry, we just completely sidetracked, but I like
Because
getting
I
sidetracked.
know we were. The British won a war
Yeah.
against us, and we were run by them for quite some
Yeah,
time.
we were a colony of the... Winston Churchill spent approximately 1 month in South African prison during the Anglo-Boer War, after being captured on November 15, 1899. He was held at the State Model Schools in Pretoria before escaping on the night of December 12th or 13th, according to the International Churchill Society. He later joined the British forces.
That was the war we lost, right?
It's a weird one.
Isn't that the
We
one where
won
they
it.
took over?
Yeah, we won it, but we lost it.
Yes, they took over.
Yeah, so we won the war in fighting, I believe, but then we lost it because they didn't give back our women and children. Something like that, yeah. Because of the concentration camps.
And they took us over.
Anyway.
I just know that.
Back to Googling, when was this guy? Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson. 1829 to 1837 was when he was president. That means he was
That was basically
40-something years old, 50 years old.
because we were in.
Yeah, that means he would
1817.
almost have been president by the time he went to go look
Yes.
for said witch. Okay.
Okay, so
Gives a little bit of legitimacy, but
one
still
version
doesn't
of
mean
the
much.
tale claims that Jackson and his entourage were halted by their carriage as they approached the house. The wheels froze, the horses refused to move. Then a disembodied voice said, "You may proceed, General." And the carriage began to move again. Whether that part is fact or folklore, I will leave for you to decide. Inside the home, the attacks continued. Betsy's hair was pulled so violently that welts formed on her scalp. She fainted often. The spirit forbade her from marrying her fiancé, Joshua Garner.
So who's
This is the daughter of Bell.
There's Betsy.
Yes,
is
this is
it?
the daughter. So basically, John Bell and his daughter, Betsy, she
Okay.
basically tormented them the whole time. The rest wasn't the issue.
Why did they stay? Why didn't they just not leave? If I'm in a house and I feel too cold in the house, I'm gonna sell the house.
Okay,
and
but
leave.
remember one thing, in today's day it's easy. You put your house on the market and you move into a new house. In those days, for you to set up and find a place and just you have to build it, get water. It's those times it wasn't as easy to just
Yes, but in
Pack up and move.
1817 you could have just literally leave the house and go stay in a makeshift tent for a month and nobody would have cared. No matter how high up in society you were. Don't you think they just maybe like the attention?
no. Well, there is a debate about that actually.
Let's say there was a witch ghost, which I'm going might actually be true
So
because of all the witnesses.
there was actually debating whether they liked it because originally it said when this started they kept quiet because obviously that was the time when everybody blamed their neighbors for being witches or accused their neighbors of being witches, so it was a bad time to say
Like
there's
the
a witch in your family.
The entire 1800s, basically.
Yes, so it was a bad time to say I have a witch in my house.
Yeah.
So originally they kept quiet, but then when it got really bad, they started telling people. And then obviously they got very famous very quickly and everybody streamed in to come and see the Bell Witch.
What's that syndrome where you like being... you actually do
Make
harm
up
to...
stories to...
Yeah, so you do harm to someone in your family just to get
I
attention.
don't know what it's called, but I know exactly what you're talking
I don't know. I
about.
think everybody knows what I saw. Well, there's like an episode on House about it, whatever.
There's an actual true story about the mom that basically kept the kids
Yeah.
sick his
They
her
gave
whole
her salt,
life.
gave her sugar, yeah.
She eventually
Or
killed
salt.
her.
Yeah.
No.
It
they
was salt,
faked-
yeah. She gave the kids
No,
salt.
that kid died.
Oh, that one died. Oh.
No, that one was a sad one. No, this one actually killed her mom with her boyfriend because she had her mother made her stay ill. She didn't actually poison her. She just forced her to lie.
Yeah. No, but
She
it
was
does
actually
feel
in
like
jail
maybe,
for killing her mom.
maybe there was ghosts and maybe they just liked it really, really so much. Like they're having a little bit of hair pulled out and maybe some voices in the
I'm
house.
pretty sure the daughter didn't like that.
No problem. Well, obviously in that time the daughter did what the father said. This is the 1800s. If she left the house, she was the witch, so she wouldn't have left. But the father could have left at any time.
No, he was also tortured and hurt and everything.
Yeah, but he enjoyed the attention. They all did.
So anyway,
But that's what I'm thinking. Okay, let's back to God.
what is interesting here as well is the spirit seemed to like John Bell's wife, Lucy. The witch would give Lucy fruit and sing hymns to her. She even showed a measure of respect to John Bell Jr. So she was kind to others. She just didn't like John and his daughter. I don't know
Okay.
why. But the worst of all was what happened to John Bell.
Did he kill the entire family and bury them in the walls?
No.
Oh.
What part of she
Wrong
just
story.
didn't like certain people did you
Anyway,
not get?
no, I'm just going into
So,
which
the Bell witch claimed she had a mission to kill John Bell. Over months, his health began to deteriorate. Severe twitching, slurred speech, and even paralysis. In December 1820, John Bell died. At his funeral, it said the witch cackled and sang Bowery songs no one could silence. A small vial of black liquid was found in the house, something no one recognized. When a bit of liquid was given to the family cat, it died instantly because let's stress it
Yeah,
out.
obviously,
Okay,
I found something else. Give it to the cat. Yeah.
The witch claimed, I gave old John a dose of that last night, which fixed him. Was it poison, stress-induced illness, or something more paranormal?
What if it was just plain murder?
By the witch.
Or by his wife?
How would that make sense? How would the daughter be hair being pulled? How would people witness her being pulled over a certain space if it was the wife?
I don't know. It does. It's
Poisoning is easy. Him taking some time to go backwards and start dying and everything going bad because she's slowly poisoning, by all means.
so remember, this
But
is
not in this way.
this is the 1800s. So what's the 17th century, whatever you want to call it. In that time, if you said something as a witch, everybody believed you. If you said to someone, "Look, she's
No.
going across the floor," they go, "Oh, she went across the floor."
No, you're
because-
making stuff up. No,
No,
that's not
it's just
true.
it was a very superstitious time,
I
especially
agree
for
with
witches.
superstitious, but not by faking, oh, look, something is putting it over the floor. That's something you see. Not, oh, listen, it's yelling. No, sorry.
Look, I'm still leaning towards there is a ghost, and there was a ghost. I'm going for that.
Saying your neighbor is a witch is, that's weird. I swear there's a black cat always on their porch. They must be a witch. That's something. Physically seeing somebody being pulled around on their hair or full of scratch. No, sorry. There's no way.
Well, scratches can be
You're making
explained.
stuff up.
I would just like to
People
try
being
and
falsely accused was something that they did not see. Not something they saw or made. They did not see and made up a story.
But like I said, it could still be murder. What if she wanted to get rid of her husband?
Well, the witch could have convinced her to do it if you think about it, if you really want to go
Yeah.
down that path. Because
But she
obviously
was a happy-go-lucky one.
she liked the wife,
Yeah.
she gave her gifts, so she could actually have used the wife to kill her husband. But anyway, that does not say here, but it's just going down the rabbit hole. So, after John's death, the witch presence gradually faded. She told the family she would return in 7 years. And according to some accounts, she did. But Lucy and her sons chose not to encourage the witch, so she left.
What do you mean encourages the witch?
I think the first time they spoke to the witch and basically interacted with the witch. Because obviously...
And that just made it worse, obviously.
Yes, so when you... the same with a demon. If you talk to the demon, they're going to talk back to you. If you don't encourage it, ignore it.
And invite
Pray
the
it
entire
out.
town to come watch witch. That's
Yes,
encourage
that
it.
obviously... So when they just ignored it, didn't interact, it left. So, what was she? A spirit? A poltergeist? A demon? A witch? A curse brought on by land fraud or betrayal?
Well, any of those, all of them much of a muchness.
Some have theorized that the entire haunting was a hoax, created
Yes.
by a clever child or exaggerated by a family under immense pressure. But skeptics have a hard time explaining how so many outside witnesses experienced the same sounds, voices, and physical phenomena.
Mass hysteria.
Moving along.
If you all
Then
heard that,
there's
that's
the
exactly the
cave.
sound my wife makes when her eyes roll all the way around her head and back again.
Then
Goes,
there's the cave. This is me ignoring him. The Bell Witch Cave still exists near Adams, Tennessee. It's a tourist attraction now, but many say the spirit never fully left that place. People report strange sounds, sudden drops in temperature, and a sensation of being watched.
Like any other haunted area.
And here's something truly intriguing I came across recently while diving deeper into the legend. I watched a YouTube video from the channel I Am From Tennessee, where Robert Henry III, a direct descendant from John Bell, who was he's like his fifth grandson, or great grandson, sorry, shared his family side of the story. According to Robert, the strange occurrence began when John Bell seeing a large black wolf. But when he shot at it, the creature vanished without a trace. Another time, a giant turkey appeared out of nowhere and disappeared just as mysteriously. Betsy Bell, the daughter most tormented by the witch, once saw a young girl swinging on a tree swing. She tried to speak to her, but the girl said nothing and then simply vanished. Robert also appeared in a show alongside a medium who gave her own interpretation of the haunting. She claimed that she saw a spirit of a Native American spiritual leader who had once lived on the land before, the Bell family. The spiritual leader was shown blessing the rocks wrapped in white cloth, which she buried at the corners of the land to protect it, so all four corners of the land. The medium explained that this was a ritual, part of a spiritual defense, because Native Americans at that time could not legally own land, basically Indians. And their property was constantly under threat. According to her, these blessings created spiritual boundaries. There was more. When someone in the tribe died, the spiritual leader would bless a rock in a similar white cloth and bury it with the deceased. A double layer of protection, basically. But this harmony was disturbed when, later years, someone searching for artifacts dug into the burial ground and took a jawbone home. The medium believed that the act unleashed the spirit. Whether you see it as an awakening, an offense, or a breaking of spiritual balance, whatever it was, this was when the witch appeared. And one more eerie detail. When the Bell family Bible was donated to a local museum, it reportedly fell open on a verse that read, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of the world."
So I have my own little thoughts and restrictions and whatever on mediums.
Here we go, mass hysteria, blah, blah, blah,
Mass
blah,
hysteria.
blah.
And then again, when last have you opened the Bible? It'll open in like 100 verses. Who says that's the verse it went for? Was there like a highlighter that fell on the Bible and then started highlighting this inscription? Just saying it's a lot. I'm still that there might have actually been a ghost because, like I said, of all the stories, of what they all said in all the accounts. And like I said in a lot of our podcasts, is repetition is the key to it actually being real. There's a couple of them like there's no solid proof or any accounts that actually make sense or the same.
I'm pretty
feature.
sure if they had cell phones in that time, they would have been able to record it.
And they
Because
probably
the
would have never
amount-
seen anything.
They probably what?
Wouldn't have seen anything because when last have you seen any footage on a cell phone?
Like I
We've got
said,
cell phones now. Why don't we see it?
Like, yes, because there's nothing like this that they said is 100% there.
So it was in old creaky houses with bad lighting. If you had a cell phone now, you'll see weird stuff. Don't you think? Why would? Yeah, I'm going to say again. I do believe there was something here. It's one of the more plausible stories of all the stories that we've
actually
done.
talks to you and people saying it heard it sing, it heard it talk, everything. It's obviously they would
But
have caught that on a cell phone.
But remember, communities do say stuff and entice
This
each
was
other.
not just communities. People from everywhere came to see because they heard about this.
But it's that thing, if you travel a long distance to go see something, you're going to see it.
No, that's not true. That's bull dust. You're talking a bunch of nonsense
person's
now.
mind is a weird
Once
place.
again, the daughter being pulled from one side of the room to the next side of the room, you cannot make that up in your head.
Okay, but did people see that except
Yes.
for the family?
No, different people, they said. The community saw that. That's not made up. So anyway, let's move along. The Bell Witch has inspired books, documentaries, and even Hollywood films. Most notably, the movie An American Haunting and the Blair Witch Project, though indirectly, drew from elements of the Bell Witch lore. Locals in Tennessee still debate whether she was real, what her purpose was, and why she chose the Bell family. Was she a spirit wronger, a fragment of trauma, or something darker? We may never know. But one thing is certain, the Bell Witch isn't just a ghost story. She's a piece of American folklore woven into the land, whispered through the hills, and feared even now, 2 centuries later.
Do you think we can stop calling it a witch now? Just call it a ghost.
I want to say demon, not ghost.
Well, a ghost is a demon, isn't it?
No. A demon is something from the devil. It's something that will challenge your faith.
That's a ghost as well.
No, I feel a ghost can be anything. A ghost can be your dead grandparents coming to look at you.
But
A
that's a
spirit,
demon.
basically. No. You get basically your spirits and stuff that is your family members. That doesn't make them a demon. A demon is something bad. A demon is something that hurts you. A demon is something that causes damage, wants to cause damage, wants to confuse you, wants to make you scared. If you have a spirit or something that's coming to help you or trying to warn you because it's a family member and I see you in danger, that's not a demon. A demon is from the devil, a spirit is from God.
Yeah, but the reason why I say stop calling it a witch is because nothing about this is witchy.
Yes, I also don't, but like I say,
I'm not saying a witch has to be on a broom and a big pot and make potions and stuff. It's just there's no. What are the guidelines of being a witch?
Something human.
Because if
It's
you
not
ask the
human.
Salem witch trials anything, you weigh more than a duck, you're a witch.
Yeah, I
It's
feel like a
it's a
witch
Monty
has to
Python
be an
reference.
actual person. Human. It's still human. A witch is still supposed to be a human.
Allegedly, yeah.
It's just a human with powers and stuff. It's a human that technically,
The opposite of a wizard.
yes, the thing is, it's that issue from you get your powers from the devil type of situation, but it's a human that started doing spells and stuff and basically used crystals and
And one thing led to another.
yes, and then I don't know enough about witches. Please don't come for me. But basically, it's a human that did spells and stuff to bring in powers and etc. And let's leave it there.
But Harry Potter was a witch.
Yes.
That's just weird how wide the world is.
Did you see how well technically he's a wizard. People will hurt you if you say he's a witch. He's a
Okay,
wizard.
so the ginger girl is a.
They're all yes, I don't but basically whatever. That was a made up story. There's a lot of parents that did not want their kids to watch that. Whatever. Casper the ghost isn't real. Let's move along.
Anyway, okay, let's go.
So, thank you for joining us on the eerie journey through Tennessee. If you ever visit Adams, maybe you'll hear a whisper or feel a tap on your shoulder. Or, if you're very unlucky, see a shadow in the corner that laughs when no one else does.
If you enjoyed diving down this rabbit hole into the world of the weird with us, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share your own thoughts. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for more content. And please share our podcast with fellow folklore lovers and help us grow.
Until next time, stay curious and keep the legend alive. Bye!
Bye.